All right, guys, welcome back. Episode 11, Surrender 5 podcast. This episode is major hype because I think 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, not from now, so I think maybe 2.5 months, I don't know.
A while.
It's been a while. I had Ping Guy reach out, said he's a fan of the show, listened to Young CEO, Alexia G. We had Shinjay on the show, Random Moss, different Twitch streamers and Pokemon Unite players. And I didn't think of it until he actually said this. And he said, hey, who do you got coming on the show? And I listed off some people. And he said, what about Nursie? And at the time, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'm at that stage where I can approach people that are at a higher status than me. And we'll get into this whole status thing. But I was like, I don't know if I'm at that point. And then I was just kind of like, you know what? Maybe I should just go for it. Because later that night, that same day, Kellosaurus had reached out to me and was very ecstatic and hyped about the potential of her coming on the show. So her reaching out to me and Ping Guy gave me the juice to reach out to Nursie. So really hyped for this show because we had talked last month potentially, but last month was very, very busy for Nursie. And then she said that she can do November. And I think both of us were busy this month with different various things. So even if it's the second to last day of the month, we still getting it in. So we have Nursie on Surrender 5 podcast today. Welcome, Nursie.
Oh my goodness. I'm excited for these conversations we're about to have. We didn't even like barely start yet and we were already like just popping off, you know?
For real, yeah. Like just the same vibe, for real. So yeah, thank you for coming to the show, the Surrender 5 podcast. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Me.
So shout out to Ping Guy, you know, for actually I guess you could say planting the seed. Not that I wouldn't approach it at some point in time, but Ping Guy really got in there and he was like, hey, you should get Nursie on the show. So we're not talking just Twitch chat, we're talking like through Discord DMs. So it really carried through, you know what I'm saying? So he wanted to make sure your brain was on here and got you know, that viewership. So I really appreciate him.
Thank you for having me. Love the Ping Guy.
So you know, before we dive into Unite, we had talked pre-recording, but now we're recording. What was your path to becoming Twitch partner, and what was the event that led to that, to you getting, you know, on that road to the purple check mark or white check mark circled by a purple circle?
It depends on the theme of the font. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no, I started streaming. I was a COVID streamer, so meaning that when everybody was stuck in quarantine, that was when I decided to start streaming because I couldn't see anybody. So with that little extra money I made, like, you know, by the way my name is on Twitch, you can tell I'm a nurse. So I was working very hard during the COVID pandemic, and I made some extra money. I built a PC, and I'm like, you know what? I initially
you built your PC.
Well, I didn't build it myself. I have no idea what I'm doing. I had a friend build it for me. I ordered everything, all the parts.
Okay.
And we built the PC together. Initially, I didn't buy any streaming things. I only played it, and like, I'm gonna be so dead ass right now. The only reason why I bought a PC was so that I could do the ring maps on Rocket League because they're not available on console. I think that was the only reason why I was like, I want to learn how to do the ring maps on Rocket League, and I can't do it on console. So that was the only reason why. So I started, you know, I started playing Rocket League on console. I mean, on PC, and it felt a lot better. Then I started going on Twitch, and I was like in some, like, at the time my fiance was streaming. He was the streamer, and I was just kind of like #1 support girlfriend, you know?
Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Your fiance was streaming first, and you were just supporting?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
He was the streamer.
Okay.
Right? And him and I ended up, you know, getting involved in some sort of little streaming community where it's like, you know, those like really, you know, small streamers support small streamers communities that like end up with a lot of drama towards the end afterwards. Anywho, we were in one of those. I personally was never a streamer. I am actually, contrary to popular belief, I am extremely introverted and very shy. You know,
I believe it. Honestly, I believe it.
But I do, like, when I'm talking through like a screen, like, it's not as bad, you know. So that's why I was like, okay, well, I made a ton of friends. one of them, we actually ended up going all the way to the States. Canadian, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know that.
Yeah, shout out to Canada.
All the way, we went all the way to the States to attend one of like my now mod, to attend his wedding. It was last year at around this time.
Oh, you went to a mod's wedding?
Yes,
That's
that
cool.
is how,
okay.
like that's how much of like that's how close we all got in that little circle, right?
Yeah.
But during that time, I did have some of them pressuring me to be like, you know what, you'd be really good at streaming. Like, nah, I can't do it. I don't even like, because I hate being on video. I hate having pictures taken of me. Like, I don't like any of that stuff. Like, I would never become a streamer. I wouldn't be good at it. I can't, when I get nervous, I can't talk properly. I still do that on stream all the time. But, you know, anyway, it was all Vin. Vin was the one that was a streamer I was just supporting, but he even said, I think you could do it. So I was like, all right, fine. So I did a no cam stream for the first time. I think it was July. I don't even remember now. I think it was July 15th, I think, of 2020. Went live. All of the friends that I had made in that Discord community, because I had networked, I was like unintentionally networking. I just made friends and they all pulled up.
What's that keyword?
Networking.
Yes, keep going. I'm sorry.
But like, it wasn't a type of networking where it's like I was trying to gain something. I literally just, you know, I went live because everybody made me, you know, and I stopped saying no. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it once. I had a blast. I was like, this was so fun, you know? There was no cam. Let me see if I still have it here. I need to show you my original mic, all right?
Your first microphone? Oh, let's see it.
Oh god, it's so
I want to have the story one day. The mic that broke before I got pregnant. Damn.
This is I think it's called the Razer Siren or something like that.
The Razer Siren?
It's so bad. It is so bad.
Oh my god.
I had a lot of like Razer products. Like my whole setup was like this colored pink. Like my keyboard. I'm still using the mouse and keyboard, but like my headset was pink. My mic was pink. Like everything. This does not sound good though. Like I literally bought this only to talk on Discord.
Yeah.
Because I had no intentions ever of like streaming or anything like that. So why am I gonna spend money? Yeah, I guess. You know, I just needed a microphone, right?
Yeah.
Cat ear headphones, don't bring those up, okay? I've matured. Okay. But yeah, and I went live that first day. Literally, I had 15 people right off the bat, first stream in my chat, because all those friends that I made all pulled up because they were the ones telling me to go stream. So it's like, okay, if I go live and nobody's there, I'm not doing this again. So they all showed up, you know, and then the following 7 streams that I did, again, bad mic, no cam, really terrible Rocket League gameplay. It was enough to get me affiliate. I was like, what do I do with this now, right? So, you know, there's people who are grinding for Twitch affiliate as is. So I was like, you know what? When I get Twitch affiliate, I will buy myself a webcam and we'll do our first webcam stream. I was like, all right. Been streaming basically Monday to Friday ever since. You know, and I said I was never gonna do it again, and
you've been doing it ever since. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
I had no intentions, like, and I think that's
the craziest part. You had no intention to stream. Your boy, your fiance was a streamer, and he was like, you know what, you're the next one up.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
I don't know. I think the reason why the channel did so well is because I was literally just having a good time. I was like, I did not care about, you know, because I also, like, because of how like nervous I got with like people watching me and stuff, I would keep my viewer count off, and I only review that kind of, I still to this day don't stream with my viewer count on. I do not want to care how many people are watching me, because that will, if the number is really lower than, like, if I put an expectation in my head of how many people are going to be there and it's lower, I get into my head about myself, right? And if it's a lot higher, then I get nervous. It's like, why are all these people here? You know what I mean? Like, I can't win with my head. But
so if I can interject real quick.
Yes.
And I think in this next segment, we'll get away from me saying this. You have a check mark, I don't. So as somebody without one, me, My background is blurry. We're in my kitchen. I love streaming in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? Got the KitchenAid, got some farfalle here, you know what I'm saying? The Instant Pot. Anyway, I don't stream with numbers on because I caught myself where if I saw single digits, I would do a certain behavior. And then the same thing with teens, 20s, 30s, 40s. I used to play Hearthstone. Do you know a streamer, a Twitch partner called Celissa, by any chance?
No.
She streams Hearthstone. So kind of like you gave me that blessing this past summer, my birthday's past, she came through with a 900 plus person raid.
Oh, that's a fat raid.
Like you know the achievement. People know me. The 1,000 viewers at once or whatever. I'm 13 people off from that. So she came off with a huge raid, and then from there, I would see numbers where it's 9, 8, 400, 300, and they're already single digits. Certain games, just a lot of different numbers I've streamed at, and I've caught myself behaving and talking a certain way. So I think I'm picking up on what you're saying, where I just turned the number off so that people can come to my stream and just see me how I am, period. Like, I don't want to look at a number and be like, oh, 5 people, let me just chill. Oh, 30 people, let me sit up, rock the chair, and like, I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
I think the only time I'll catch myself being different is when, like, obviously when you're getting rated, you see how many are rating, so you have an idea initially how many people are in there. The only thing I think for me that would change is, like, I'll introduce myself for all the newcomers and I guess drop my social be like, hey, I know you're new here. If you want to hang out some more, here's my socials, get to know me. I do this Monday to Friday, whatever it is. Otherwise, I try to stay as much of like my authentic self as possible, because I find that when I get nervous, I kind of like, I don't know, talk like nonsense, I guess, because I'm nervous.
No, I feel you on that, yeah. No, this is cool to have this perspective, like where you are and where I'm at, and like the similar shared mindset. So, what's your perspective on people who may like make Twitch partner or the check a gigantic thing, like being an affiliate versus like being a partner? Do you see a big difference on having the check mark? Does it mean anything?
I feel like personally, there are people who let it get to their head, I guess. I guess it depends on like the streamer themselves, you know what I mean? Because like for me, I find that, because like it's something that definitely you should celebrate. Like, you did work hard to get there. I know this is gonna contradict a little bit of what I said earlier in the pre-show.
Yeah, do you think?
About feeling boosted to partner, but in the same breath, I did work hard to try and maintain those numbers as much as possible after the fact. But
yes,
I didn't even get into that little event yet, because to your initial question, because we're just going off into so many different directions. But yeah, I find that it really depends on the person. My view of it is that it's literally just a badge at the end of the day. It's the same way as like some people look at the mod badge and be like, oh, those are moderators, everybody has to behave, and like stuff like that. Like, at the end of the day, it is literally just a badge. In my POV, I think people should treat streamers as they are. There's nobody that's more high and mighty because they have like 1,000 people watching them, if that makes sense. Because I find myself hanging out a lot more in smaller streamer channels than I do with the bigger streamers, actually, because my favorite streamer is like the one that I first started watching. I saw her, like, I was watching her when she was averaging like 100 people, maybe. She now sits at like, she like blew up on TikTok at one point and was starting to stream to like 1,000 people. I could no longer get a word in her chat,
Oh, man.
And I liked being in her stream so much because of that, in the way she spoke to her, she's a very community-oriented streamer, and I love that about her. I love those kinds of streamers. So, and I'm not trying to be like, when streamer doesn't pay attention to me. It's not even that, right? I like to go to streams where I can actually have somebody to talk to, or at the very least, like the people in her chat I could talk to, but like because of like it was the Rocket League community and they all only cared about talking crap about a girl playing Rocket League. So that was her whole
Right.
chat after that, right? Couldn't talk to
Yeah.
those people, couldn't really get a word in with the streamer, right? Um so I started noticing, and it's not that I don't like her content cuz I love her. Like she's still I had the pleasure of meeting her at RLCS Worlds over the summer when I went. She's super like down to earth, kind-hearted girl that like I've been watching since I started going on Twitch. But I just find myself watching smaller streamers now, which is why I've networked with so many smaller streamers naturally, because I just find that it's easier to connect with them. Um, and like I don't know, it's just I that's why you'll never see me following streamers like I don't know what's a really huge streamer. I don't know, Pokimane, for example. Like look at her social stuff, but I could never like sit in her, and it has nothing to do with her content.
Yeah.
I could never sit in her stream and try and like chat with her, right? Because
Right.
she's not gonna see, she's not gonna like, and I want somebody to talk to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I can leave a lurk, sure, but I when I go to people's streams, it's because I want company. I want somebody to talk to, right? And
Yes.
that's why I find the value in connecting with these smaller streamers. Oh.
Me too. I know. I like that. If I can ride your coattail here. So, and I get it. There are going to be people who say that what we're talking about comes off like, look at me, you know, you're streaming, talk to me, whatever. So when they're done with that, they can be right and they can go over there. Because to me, like to sidestep and not to get too far, but to connect this all, like when there was that, and there still is, the Twitch versus YouTube war, like to me, you should use both. But the inner workings to me, it's like there are great things that each one does, the other one doesn't. So on the Twitch side, I've noticed Twitch, it feels like a community because they have emotes. You know, you can hype people up coming in the channel. Like the chat room is specifically built, I think, to make it where it's a community. So when we get to said streams where, based on the nature of how Twitch works on the other side of this, where once you get past a certain level, I won't put a number on it because I don't know where it is, but the streamer now isn't having personal conversations with said people because there's so many people in the stream. Now it's like I feel like they need to put on a show. So like I watch like a lot of IRL streams, just chatting.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if anybody knows who these people are, but like Mellow Nello had said XQC. Not that I'm watching them because they're cool. They're just chatting streamers. So I catch some XQC streams just because of how mainstream Twitch is, or how mainstream that person is on Twitch. So them, Aiden Ross, Kai Sinat, people of that nature. And I noticed that these people who are bigger time, they talk to other people who are on their level, but never at any point is it like a conversation with, like you're saying, people in their chat room. Because when they do address chat, it's chat as one. You know, chat. That's just the chat room. Hey, chat.
Hey, chat. How you doing,
hey, chat? Come on, chat. That's crazy, right? You guys are legends.
You know,
come on, chat. This on the third.
I do notice that with some streamers, like they won't be reading their chat, but the minute they see somebody with like a partner badge next to their name,
goodness.
they will then they get acknowledged, right? And I have made the conscious effort as a streamer to not do that to people, right? When I see people come in with a partner badge, I greet them and say hi to them just as I do with literally everybody else, right? And I don't give them shout outs because they have a partner badge. Like my bot is set up so that when I get raided, doesn't matter the size of the raid, my bot will always automatically shout out that person immediately after getting raided, right? So when I've seen this before where people come in with their partner badge, no idea who that streamer is, but oh, can we get a shout out for this person because, you know, they're a big streamer, and like no, they don't. You know, why? There's so many streamers in the chat probably. Why is the guy who already has a partner badge already getting the only one getting a shout out?
The rich get richer.
I don't like that kind of mentality. So it's like, you know, that's why I said, like, going back to like the very beginning, like everybody on Twitch should be treated the same. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's no status, this and that. So I said, if you want to do a collab with somebody, just ask them, see what they say. If they ego you, if they think that you know, they're too big to do a collab with a smaller streamer, then that's on them, right? Um I feel like networking is networking, and you know, as long as your intentions for like said network is like always good, and it's just you're doing it just because you want to just to have a good time, all that stuff, I see nothing wrong with it. But like there are people who will like, you know what like grinds my gears is those follow for follow discords and stuff like that. You know, which goes back to like the drama that I brought up earlier that like me and
They
Ben were
frustrate
in
me.
at the
I
time.
have to work out sometimes. Keep talking.
You know, that actually is one of the reasons why I had to actually leave that community, because going back to like, you know, how my channel started growing exponentially because of said raid that we're gonna bring up.
Oh yeah.
I was getting a lot of backlash about a lot of the other streamers in that community, um, immediately trying to bring me down afterwards, because like, oh, either she doesn't deserve it, or oh, she's egoing us now, she's too good for us now. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, it's like it's really crazy that like as soon as like people will want to support you until you're doing better than them, then it's like they don't want
Mm-hmm.
to help you out anymore. You know
How
what I
how
mean?
dare you be comparable to me, and then one day wake up and continually wake up day after day and then excel past me? How dare you?
Yeah,
It's
it's
sickening.
crazy. Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
crazy.
I learned to just stay in my lane. You know, that's one of the worst things you can do as a streamer is compare yourself to other people's growths, because
Mm-hmm.
everyone's journey is different. Some people will take 6 months to get affiliate. Sometimes it will take a year. Like, I'm gonna be honest though, if it's taking you a year to get Twitch affiliate, um, then I do think you are probably doing something wrong. That is not on the other people for not showing up. It's something that you're doing something either not enough of or not properly. But that's
Yes.
a totally different can of worms. But my whole point is that um you know, your success is always all on you, you know what I mean? And
Agreed.
you should not focus on other people's successes, because, and I say this all the time, somebody else's success has nothing to do with yours and should not hold you back from yours, you know what I mean?
Oh, so true.
Yeah, so like the fact that
Mm-hmm.
I was doing well was bothering some people, and it was causing all of this really petty like small streamer drama. And then when the Rocket League raid happened, all right, 40,000 people in my chat, which
Oh, this
I
was
didn't
after.
ask for. This was after. Yeah, this was
Oh,
like the like that was kind
even
of like the
better.
icing on the cake, okay? That was, I think that was March 23rd.
Okay.
20, was it 2021?
20.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
21.
yeah, 2021. I was just doing my thing. I like to host a lot of viewer tourneys. As a that was like my thing, because I'm not that good at Rocket League, so like it's not like I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
stream my ranked games all the time and have people make fun of me. I do a lot of viewer games and stuff, and then just one day I was doing my viewer games and I had somebody come in from Psyonix, like the, you know, the
Yeah.
developers
Oh
and
yeah.
whatever. They
Mm-hmm.
came in and they're like, we have something for you, but promise that you will keep it, you know, PG and don't swear and all that stuff. I was like, what are you talking about?
Okay.
You know, and the next thing you know, it's like, it said Rocket League rated you with 42,000, something like that, 42,000 people. Chat erupted. All of this stuff. I started modding all these random people in my chat that I knew of just to help me moderate that chat. Um,
That's
and
insane.
it was really crazy what had happened. And you know, that was a lot to deal with as a streamer in so many different ways. Because I was already gonna battle the imposter syndrome of like, that did that actually just happen kind of thing, right? And the
Yeah.
second thing is all those people who were already challenging me and my growth, saying that like, I don't know what you're doing, why are you growing like this, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. It made them even more mad, you know, and like I had to kind of deal with that. It's like I don't have control over that kind of stuff. So like you know what I mean? And like I don't know, it was a really crazy time. And so that kind of led to the whole you know, me getting partner. I did get denied from partner 3 times before I got it because
Whoa, you got denied 3 times?
3 times. Yeah. And like and it made
Oh shit.
sense because I was a streamer averaging like 30, 40 viewers maybe to like I think 200 for like a month. I was averaging 200 people for a
Oh,
month. And
okay.
Twitch emails me back being like, how where did you get all these people all of a sudden? Like, you know,
Mm.
and like you need to sustain these numbers for an X amount of time for us to kind of see that you've earned it. It's not like, you know what I mean? And so I did finally get it afterwards.
Okay, okay.
Funny story actually. The third or the fourth time, the day that I actually got my acceptance letter, I guess I'll call it. Earlier that day, I had a rejection email sent to me saying, "Sorry, you didn't get partner." I was like, "All right, gonna have to apply for the fourth time, whatever, or the
Damn.
fifth time, I don't know." And then later that day, while I was at work, I don't know, I applied so many times. But anyways,
Yeah, it's
later
good.
that day, while I was at work, I got another email from Twitch that said, "I'm sorry, we sent you the wrong email. You actually got partner." I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" I was like,
What?
the emotional roller coaster that I had when that happened, and like it was so crazy.
That's
But
the
like,
craziest emotional roller coaster I could
yeah, it
ever
was
imagine.
crazy.
You get a
Yeah.
denial letter in the morning or email, and then you get an acceptance email later in the day. The
Yeah,
hell?
it was crazy.
Yo, like Mello
That
said in chat, somebody at Twitch just hitting buttons.
yeah, yeah, that's what happened. I don't know. It's you know what though, that whole partner grind and stuff, it was like a big spiral afterwards in terms of like I was at that point where I was like, now what? My grind, like my goal as a streamer has
Mm.
been achieved. Now what? What do I do? I started I get not losing interest, but like there were a couple times where like I actually wanted to stop streaming because that was when I was still forcing myself to play Rocket League because I felt like I felt obligated because of like what Psionics did for me that day. And then following that, I did get signed to an org shortly after. That's pretty
Okay.
well. Like they're not the biggest org, but they are growing pretty quickly. Um, they used to be at the time they were called Alpine, and they rebranded to Torrent. But you know they were a really rapidly growing org as well, and um I don't know, like I felt obligated to not give up because I had them like at my side being like, "Oh, we have all these kinds of content plans for you and all that kind of stuff." And I felt like I wasn't
Mm.
allowed to quit, you know, but I wasn't
Okay, yeah.
happy, right? So I don't know. And then that's when I started getting really negative on stream and all this kind of stuff. I was so miserable after that. When I like you would think that after you hit partner you'd be like over the moon and all this kind of stuff like, oh, I'm a Twitch partner, look at that, blah blah blah. I was getting really miserable. I don't know. I, and I think it just had to
Yeah.
do with the imposter syndrome that I was facing afterwards. I felt so boosted to partner because of that raid. Even like months out, because the raid happened in March and I got partner in July because all those times that I was like reapplying and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a few months. And I don't know, I felt so uh like negative all the time. I was complaining about I think the reason why I was complaining a lot was because when I got that Rocket League raid, followed by getting signed to the org, you know, my org was promoting me because they do have quite a big following on like especially on TikTok. They would, you know, post TikToks
Mm.
of like my clips and the things that I experienced, like they actually had to stop posting TikToks of me specifically on their channel because
Of
they
you?
would post
Why?
clips. I asked them to because
Oh.
whenever they posted clips of, you know, the pro players, they did have a pro Rocket League team, a pro Apex team, all this kind of stuff. They do have a pro team, and they also had one other male content creator. And whenever any stuff got posted by them, all the comments in the TikTok section were, "Oh, you're so good at this game. Oh, that was so cool." But whenever I got something posted, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, they only signed her because she's a girl. Oh, she clearly got carried to champ. She got like all this kind of negative stuff." There was like no there was like probably if I were to ratio it, I think maybe about only 30% of the comments were something positive, and it was my community, like those
30%.
comments.
Oh, that's
I want to
horrible.
say maybe. Um and that was what was causing me to be like, I cannot be in this community anymore. I can't do it. You know, everyone basically getting into my head telling me that I didn't deserve to be signed to the org. You know, I didn't deserve Twitch partner because I just got boosted by Rocket League. All these kind of things from that community. I was literally like, I was so miserable. I wanted to stop streaming. I said I can't do this. You know, like
That is
getting
horrible.
Twitch partner was like a double-edged sword, I guess, you know,
Okay,
because
yeah.
like I really like I worked so hard for it, and the fact that people were discrediting all the really late nights that I spent like working a full-time job too on top of that.
Yeah,
I
you're
work
working a
40
full-time
hours
job.
40
Mm-hmm.
hours a week, and I have a more consistent stream schedule than I can guarantee you 95% of the people that commented under those TikToks.
Oh,
I
yep.
have, you know what I mean? And like
Oh, yes.
I the
Mm-hmm.
fact that people didn't see that and they just came at me for like, oh, they like I still have screenshots of
I
all the
believe
stuff.
it.
Like I used to make memes. That's the thing. I think that's why people didn't like my Twitter, because at some point all I would do is take screenshots of, you know, what was being said about me, and then I'd like meme about them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I would just make those kinds of posts on Twitter and people didn't like it. So then I think that's why I started kind of losing my traction as a Rocket League streamer, right?
Okay.
And then I think that day, or I don't know when I decided. I think it was maybe September. I decided that like I need to do variety. I can't. I am no longer growing as a Rocket League streamer. I cannot stand the community anymore. And like
Mm.
don't like and again, that's not to say everybody in the community, because the Rocket
Yeah.
League community, there's some cool people in there, right? But the majority of people that I was getting coming into my streams were a lot of like teenagers, you know, like super jealous that, you know, oh, there's a girl that's higher ranked than whatever this and that. Like I couldn't, I was tired of justifying my success to 15-year-olds.
Yeah,
You know what I
you don't
mean?
need to justify your success to 15 year
Yeah.
olds. That's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Nah.
So that's when I switched to Pokemon. I started I think it was September or October. I don't quite remember exactly, but I started just doing like I got an emulator and I did a vanilla playthrough of Pokemon Red. And that was probably one of the happiest times in my channel, when I was just doing a
Okay.
vanilla playthrough Pokemon Red to like
Yeah.
25 people starting from scratch. All right.
Yeah.
I did have a lot of Rocket League people coming in, be like, "Oh, why are you playing this? I'm gonna come back when you're playing Rocket League." I'm like, "All right, see you later."
Yeah.
Never
I guess
saw them
I'll
again.
see you
But
never. Yeah.
yeah, I did have a lot of people coming in being like, "When are you gonna play Rocket League? This is boring. I don't like Pokemon." Blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay,
That's.
yeah, that's
Mm,
that's a huge
mm,
lesson, I think, as a streamer, is do
mm-hmm.
not fall for those comments. You know, because if you're happy streaming what you're streaming, then the right people will come around and stick around. And I toughed it out.
Such a good tip.
I ignored people complaining about what I was choosing to do as a streamer, because quite frankly, I already hit Twitch partner. I already did what I wanted to do. At that time, I had just gotten my 10,000 follower goal.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of that was boosted, but like, you know, it's fine. Those next 1,000 followers after, from like, because those 10,000 happened in that 1 year I was streaming. Yes. All right, so
Wow.
that's just for
Okay.
you to understand why I use the word boosted, right? Because
Yeah.
it was
10,000 in a year.
exponential growth. And then after that, the following year, it took me that whole year to get just 1,000 people after that. right? So it
Oh,
was
okay, okay.
a huge wall I hit in growth, but it was a wall I was willing to hit because I was so happy afterwards. So I didn't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um,
No,
and then
definitely. I can
that's
tell. I can tell. Yeah.
yeah, and I started like exploring other, Pokemon. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. Um, as a Pokemon streamer. I started with just the vanilla playthrough and then I did a catch 'em all challenge afterwards. I was trying to go through every gen of Pokemon and do some sort of
Mm.
challenge as we go. So when I got to Gen 2, I did a catch 'em all challenge with a randomizer. So that was really fun because with the randomizer, it made it so that I was able to catch every single Pokemon in the game. However, none of them spawn where they're supposed to on the map. So I literally got to Route 1 on my playthrough
Oh,
on the first day, and there was a Ho-Oh in the grass at level 2.
what the hell?
It was so funny, just like the excitement of not knowing what's gonna spawn, and then
Yeah.
because everything was randomized, I couldn't actively go to every location, be like, okay, I'm gonna go here and catch a Hoot Hoot, right? A Hoot Hoot
Yeah.
was the last Pokemon that I actually caught to complete that challenge, and
That's
I found
crazy.
it in a river somewhere. It
I've
was
heard of
crazy.
randomizers, but I never actually looked up to see what it means. So to hear you say that,
Yeah,
that's insane. You
yeah,
can, it's literally everything's scrambled up and
yeah.
randomly
Even the
spawned
evolutions
everywhere.
too. So I had my starter.
Oh, okay.
Our starters were also randomized. I don't remember what I picked, but there were the three starters. It wasn't Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander. It was literally three random. I think it was a Doduo or something was my start, and then I had chat vote or whatever. So our starter Pokemon was a Doduo. Um, and yeah, it was really interesting. And then I'd have I would catch a Caterpie and it'd evolve into a Gengar. I was like, okay, cool. I don't
What?
have a Gengar. It was a really,
That's
really
really
great.
random.
It was a really great experience, and I was naming everything that I caught after the viewers in my chat.
Oh, I
It
love
was
doing
it
that.
was it
Yeah,
was a really good time.
that's fun.
Then I got to Pokemon Emerald. Like this was at this point I was like several months into like the Pokemon content. Still not like I thought that this is what I wanted to do, like the different challenges.
Yeah.
But I found myself once again hitting a mental health wall where it's like I am once again not happy doing this because I have so many backseat gamers in my freaking chat. It was driving me crazy.
Oh my goodness.
It was so bad. Like I do not
Backseat
have a
gamers.
PhD in Pokemon, okay? If I can't remember my type matchups, I am so sorry, but you don't need to come in here and tell me and make me feel stupid for not knowing friggin' fairy Pokemon are weak against. I don't even know. Steel. There we go. See, I remember. I
Steel,
remember.
poison.
There you go. See,
I
I'm
know
not
because
gonna
because
remember
the
that.
past 2 days. No, honestly, because
Yeah.
anyone can go back to my stream, and even I literally said I was like, yo, I memorized like the first time they made a graph, but they came out with a new type, and then I took a break, and then I came back,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah.
is it resistant to fire? Does it beat steel? I forget. And like you're saying,
Yeah.
and this is where I'm actually learning from you, saying like it doesn't matter if you got a badge or not, people are just gonna do this anyway because I have a smaller stream than you, but that's not the
Mm.
point. They're backseat gamers fucking everywhere. Oh, we cuss on the show, by the way. I don't give a shit. They're fucking
Okay.
everywhere. And it's sickening because for a moment, like you just said, I forgot. And then we had a fucking Pokemon professor come in chat with his PhD talking all this smack.
Cerebi,
And
I
it's
call
like,
them
yo,
Cerebi snobs. That's what I like to call
Cerebi
them.
snobs? I like
Yeah,
that. I'm gonna use
those
that.
people that go on Cerebi.net and they have like they know all of the
Mm-hmm.
IV values and all this kind of stuff. It's like, okay, I I
Mm-hmm.
literally I put my education into things like my nursing degree. I don't need to know these
Yeah, you
things,
have a
right?
literal nursing degree. You don't need a Pokemon degree. Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
that I think that's what was driving me nuts. So then I went back to variety, like real variety content for a bit where I started doing Rocket League once a week. I had Marble Monday. Marble Monday was fun. I know everyone's asking me to bring that back, but basically I'd play marbles on stream with the community every Monday morning, and whoever would win the Grand Prix would get VIP in my chat for that week. Like they would be the winners, right?
Oh, that sounds cool. Okay.
Everyone, yeah, everyone wants me to bring that back. But then I found Unite, right? I found Unite, then I met Taco, I met Harambe, I met Curly, and like I just
Yeah.
one thing led to another, and I started really, really loving the game. We started doing a little bit of competitive, like not too crazy competitive, but we really loved streaming together. I think that was what I loved about Unite so much is that I met some really great people, and that's when my channel started to gain traction again. I started, meeting these really great people. I owe a lot to Taco. Taco really
Yo,
introduced me
shout out to
to
Taco.
yeah, we love Taco. Taco
Yeah.
introduced me to so many people. Um and like we still plan on like doing Scarlet Violet content together too on top of that.
No, you should. Hey,
Um
real quick, sidestep. I met Taco in a Trovo Titans tournament, some kind of tournament where I lost to him, and then started playing against him on ladder randomly, and then he accepted my friend request. And I'm learning from you, don't do the status thing, but at the time it felt like it. So it was cool to me, like Taco and Sanji early on. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
like Taco's always gonna be a great person, but I just want to say, like, I remember when I first met the dude, and ever since then, like him, Sanji, and Bruv HD, just cool people, like down to earth. So keep going.
Yeah.
Taco's awesome.
Yeah, we love Taco.
Yeah, he's mad cool.
I really really love making, content with, Taco was, I think, the main source of content, I guess. Like he was working from home a lot, so he would be streaming with me in the mornings all the time, like duoing with
Okay.
me. And then I started becoming friends with Curly. I think Curly was a really huge inspiration in the Unite community, especially like I resonate a lot with like the female streamers. I feel like they know exactly what I go through as a fellow female streamer. And I think her and I clicked when I offered to help her with her partner application. I helped her
Okay.
like with the process, and I was like bracing her, like, listen, I got rejected 4 times, so like do not take it personally, because there's, like, Mello said, was it Mello or Zongo? One of them said they're just pressing buttons there.
Yeah.
So if you get rejected, do not take it personally. She was popping off like crazy, you know. So then we started doing these team streams. Like I got Harambe and Sylv joining as well. We had the 5 of us, and we were doing, I think one of my favorite parts about the Unite content was the compliments that our 5 stack were getting. Saying, like, people were saying, oh, this 5 stack is so entertaining. And I think that was the best feeling, because even if we were losing, like, the jokes and the laughs and everything that we were like having is, I think, what was making people enjoy the 5 stack content. We did try to get a little bit more competitive, but unfortunately we had to stop doing that because everyone had like life things going on, and then on top of that, our schedules just never met. I think we only had Thursday mornings available, and we were talking because we wanted to be a little more competitive and like actually have team practices and play in tournaments. I had so many people reaching out to me to scrim with them, and I feel so bad because like there have been people I said yes to and then ended up flopping. As like, listen, we can't find a day to practice, let alone like, do a tournament or scrims or whatever. So I just like, and I feel bad flopping to this day. Again, it's not an ego thing. We just could not.
Of course not. Yeah.
Could not figure it out, right?
Yeah. Scheduling. I get that. Yeah.
And I was worried that like when we stopped streaming together, I didn't want people to think that something happened, like a fallout or whatever between any of us. We're all still in the same group chat. We're all still in our group chat. We all still send memes to each other. We all still hang out. We all are still making plans to do future streams together. It's just in terms of playing competitively as a team, it's just not gonna work, So
Understood,
it is what it is. And I think that like I think I was having the most fun playing Unite because of those guys, and not having them join me all the time made Unite kind of feel a little dull for me, because I think the people that I stream with were the content. The Unite wasn't the content, I feel like my camera's kind of blurry here. Let me fix it. I don't know. I just started losing a little bit of not interest, because I still do enjoy the game. But I did not want what happened with me in Rocket League to happen with me in Unite.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because I forced myself to play Rocket League until I hated it. And I did not.
I did it with Hearthstone. Yep.
Yeah, I did not want that with Unite. So
I vibe with that, because your Rocket League 2 is like Hearthstone to me. I got to a point where I was just like pushing it, where it wasn't enjoyable, and it's just like, I'm now doing this for quote unquote views, for people's attention, instead of what like your energy when you switched to red on the emulator was
Yeah.
just natural joy. I was like, I need that to happen for me. So I totally understand what you're saying. Totally get it.
Yeah, and I feel like when they like we were no longer able to collab as much as we used to, like especially Taco. Like Taco was my number one stream guy. It's like, hey, what time tomorrow? 11? Okay, cool. Every morning I would at least have a duo like Taco join me. And then he started going back to work. So he was no longer working from home. He was going back into his office and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like now I only get him once a week, right? And
Yep.
that would mean it's like, do I solo queue all the other days? And like, I don't mind. So I try not to be that person that complains about solo queue, right?
Mm-hmm.
People should know what you're getting into when you solo queue.
Yes.
You know you're gonna get AFKs. You know you're gonna get people who do not know how to play the game, but somehow got to masters.
Somehow.
So people making questionable decisions. But like for me, I try to be an accountable person when I play. So it's like when I'm playing, I need to just have tunnel vision on my own growth. Like, what am I doing wrong? Because like, you never know. So I feel like a lot of people complain about their teammates being bad, but they often don't realize that sometimes it's their mistakes that they made that caused their teammates to force themselves to make a decision they didn't want to do to play around you. So maybe you're bad.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So
yep. Mm-hmm.
I always try to be, and the thing is about that is that like when you're streaming, your attention span is like completely halved, even quartered even.
Oh,
So,
I was gonna say, yeah, go to quarter. Yep.
Quartered.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I try not to complain about what I'm doing or my teammates. I try my best. I know I've slipped a couple times. Maybe I was in a bad mood. I don't know. But I try not to complain about that because more likely than not, I'm probably just like completely autopiloting and not helping my team. And then I'm like, oh my God, where's my team? Like, no, it's probably my fault. I'm not paying attention, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
to resort to solo queuing on stream as a streamer who really values, that community interaction, I feel like if I have to keep um streaming solo queue unite, I think this is gonna like end up really poorly. It's gonna be like another Rocket League situation. So I started bringing back Arceus again with the same mentality as I just got my viewership back up to partner numbers with Unite. Let's butcher it again. I started playing Arceus. But you know what? Those actually went surprisingly well. I started shiny hunting. I started doing this whole let's do every single little Pokedex task.
Yep.
Because there's so many, and I feel like that'll be
There's so
content
many.
for weeks. There'll be content for weeks, and I started doing that, and I would have people come in and be like, "Wow, you're actually one of the only streamers who are streaming what they actually say they are." 'Cause you know how people, for the sake of their numbers, they say that they're streaming Arceus, but then they're playing Pokemon Red on an emulator. I totally didn't do that.
Oh, the category. They'll have
the
one category, but they're literally doing something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd have people come in and be like, well, people are actually streaming Arceus, and then people actually enjoy the streams and they would come in. So I don't know, I was enjoying it for a while, and then I noticed that I'm like, holy crap, I haven't been playing Unite in so long. But you know what, and I had a lot of people ask me like, when are you gonna play Unite? I'm like, I don't know, soon. Soon hasn't come yet because it's been a couple weeks now and I feel bad. And it's like, it's not, and I feel like people think that I don't like Unite anymore, and that's not at all it. I think I just needed to take a break because I was streaming Unite every single day. I stopped Marble Monday, I stopped everything, and I was only streaming Unite. And I was streaming it because I loved it. I actually throw in extra streams in my schedule these days because I've been enjoying streaming so much.
Yeah. I've noticed that.
Because normally, normally I stream Monday to Friday, and then I make sure I take my weekends off, right? I've been doing Sunday stream, Saturday stream because I'm actually genuinely enjoying my content again. And if I'm enjoying what I'm doing, why switch to something else because I said I was going to stream Unite? It's like, if I don't feel like streaming Unite, I'm not gonna do it. And I was actually supposed to do a collab with Curly. It's still gonna happen, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But with the release of Scarlet and Violet, we both decided that I don't think it's appropriate right now to do it. That maybe we should push it for like when that Scarlet Violet hype is over.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
in the
Mm-hmm.
meantime, we could probably still do a collab, but postpone the Unite collab we were gonna do and do something Scarlet Violet related, you know?
Yes.
But I don't know. I just feel like it's I'm just trying to do what I like to do without forcing myself. Like I know, and it's so weird because I was so excited for Sableye to come out, and I have not
Right.
even seen what the gameplay looks like. I haven't bat an eye at it. It's like, yo, oh yeah, it came out today. And like I haven't even updated the game in weeks, you know? Not to say that I'm not gonna try it eventually, but like between like having to pay for the new mons and everything and all this kind of stuff, I'm like, you know what? I don't mind waiting. I feel like every time a new mon comes out, everyone and their mother wants to try it, and it
Mm-hmm.
kind of defeats the purpose, I guess, for me because I want to try it. And if I don't get to try it, and I know there's a lot of people be like, oh, well, don't play rank, play it in practice. Like, I don't want to play in practice. I don't have any time to grind rank. So if I'm gonna play Unite, I'm gonna
Thank
play
you.
ranked.
Thank you for saying
You
that.
know?
Oh my God. Yes. Jesus. Yeah. I say it all the time.
I don't know.
Doing
Like
practice is like I only got a limited amount of time, and that time I have, I want to spend it here, not chop it up to playing. Let's say I got 6 games for the night. I don't want to play 4 in practice and then play the 2 in
yes.
ranked. Like, oh, I perfected it. I didn't.
Yes. Yes. And like I feel like that's the other thing. I found that as I was trying to, you know, I was trying to make the solo queue content work. I was playing a lot of Blissey, as Blissey main over here, but
Yep, big
I
time.
was trying to learn other supports. And I think one thing that was a huge wake up call for me is that people were really pressuring me to try a different role because I found myself complaining about my games in solo queue, and I think that was a misstep on my part for not being accountable for the mistakes I was making. Um, but um, I remember like I had a really bad game one day, and then I went on this like whole tangent or whatever. And I had people like telling me, "Oh, well, it's because you're playing support. Support, you need to carry. You need to play carry mod. This kind of stuff, right?" And I don't know. I think I was off my rocker that day after that. I took a clip and I posted it on Twitter,
Yeah.
and it got a lot of traction. And like, because I wanted to know if I wanted my experiences to be validated, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I want to play support, all right, then I should be able to play support, you know? And
Yes. One of the.
quite
Yep.
frankly, there's a lot of people who don't want to play support. So to find a support main in your solo queue games is probably a little bit of a blessing
A
because
huge blessing.
if I like, and I'm not saying like, and I'm not trying to be a one trick pony. I know I am a one trick pony, and I tell people don't be like me. All right, it's good to be versatile. It's good to be like whatever. But if I only have this much time to play the game, then I should be able to play the role that I want, right?
Agreed.
And I know what my playstyle is like. I know what my limits are, and if I don't feel like learning an attacker at this moment, I'm not gonna do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, not to say that I'm not going to eventually do it, but like let me learn at my own pace, you know? I feel like if I had more time, if I had like a week's vacation, maybe I'll sit down and be like, you know what, I'm gonna work on my Sylveon day. Because I did like playing Sylveon and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know, it got to a point where I was feeling pressured to get better at the game and really extend my skills. Um, like, and it was making me question my ability, not just as a player but as a streamer. It's like, do people only want to watch me because I'm getting better? Because I was improving quite a bit when I first picked up the game. Like I picked up the game and I got masters actually very quickly. In my first season of playing, I think I started season 4 or 5, something like that. When Eldegoss was broken, I was an Eldegoss main for a
Oh,
bit.
then. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember.
And like, I don't know. I started to just not have fun again because I was questioning myself a lot. And I started telling myself, when I was solo queuing, it's like, wow, maybe I was actually getting carried by my 5 stack and I actually don't belong here. And the whole, like, it was just a whole repeat of like imposter syndrome, but instead about Twitch and numbers and partner status, it was about my status as a competitive player. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not trying to go pro. This isn't the life for me. So that's why
Right?
I decided to kind of take a step back. And I viewed I viewed my Unite ranked games as I'm just gonna do my best. I'm not gonna throw any games. I'm gonna do my best so that I don't feel guilty. Like if I'm bad, I'm sorry, but this is solo queue. If I'm bad, I will derank myself, and I will be with the lower ranks where I belong. All right, but in the meantime, I just want to have fun. I find that I play better when I'm having fun, and I stopped taking it as seriously. But then I kind of just lost my whole edge altogether to even grind for like my sticker, for example. When I didn't get my
Yeah.
season 7 sticker, that was it for me. I'm like, you know what? I did get to Masters this season that just finished.
Yeah.
Or that's finishing. I don't even know anymore.
It ends
um,
tomorrow night.
Nice. I
Yeah.
did get Masters immediately after that. Lost 10 games in a row. I'm ending the season at like 1150, I think, my elo. So it's okay. I got Masters.
It's okay. Yeah.
I got Masters. I did not set the goal to, get my sticker. I'm sure if I wanted it, I would grind for it. But like, I'm at that
Mm-hmm.
point where like I don't need that sticker because I think I wanted the sticker as validation that I deserve to be up there. But then I was also telling myself that I think I only got up there all those times because I was 5 stacking. You know, that
Okay.
one season where I first started to 5 stack, I got my elo as high as almost 2100.
Yeah.
Right? And
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
me that was insanely high, and like it's just making me question like was it me? Like was I doing my part, or was my team just that good and I was just kind of chilling and doing
Well, I'd say
enough?
you're doing your part because if I can interject, there's a lot of
Mhm.
this conversation out there, and with every video game, unless I see the developers or the team who creates the game do this, I always say this like I was never given a blueprint on how to play this game, except in the tutorial. First of all, they tell you to go score when you really should be killing people. Anyway, so you playing in a 5-man group, I honestly believe, like this is gonna sound dumb, but I honestly believe that's what the developers intended because the game is called Pokemon Unite.
Yes.
So I
And I
fully
do say
believe,
that.
yeah, you should be confident in like you got that rank in the group because look across for me like looking across the board, what happens to people who play solo queue? There are people who have chunks of time, and I think with any game that's the key. If you have time, you can rank up. But there are people
Mhm.
who may not have the time, and in that little bit of time, they try their best, and then they can't, and then they hop on Twitch, any random Twitch stream, or Twitter, or Reddit. Definitely Reddit. People will just complain, and sometimes it's fun to read. But for me, it's just like I hate when people will say to people like you who are actually good players to bust your ass, like you were saying earlier in Rocket League, in most communities, it's sickening. You're getting carried. Oh, you're what's the other one? You're a girl. You got
Mhm.
carried. Bullshit like that. But it's like if you actually watch your streams, Curly, women in Unite, people who are playing this game and giving their best, trying their hardest, you can actually see where your skill is at and how you're affecting the team. And it's
Mhm.
sickening when there are people to pull back what you said something earlier when they're in that same space as you or they think they are like playing this video game. We're all the same unless it's a tournament, playing for money for whatever, thousands of dollars. Like when you're doing better than them and you're now ranking up 16, 1700, 1800, now they're going to come out the woodwork talking all this trash or whatever. But like, when are they spending their time to network, make
Mhm.
friends, make groups, and actually rank up? It's always people who are just the randoms out there. And like you said, they'll never say anything until you actually start to excel past them. So I
Yeah.
totally get the imposter syndrome, but at the same time, just know like you definitely pitched in your 20% out of the 5 people, like,
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't get me wrong, like I would also say that it's a 5-man team. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And like you need to work as a team. It is a team game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um I think I was hearing it so much that like I was having so many people tell me, play a carry mon, play like your like support is rough to solo queue, this kind of stuff. But it's like I don't want to learn a carry mon. I don't want to do that, like, because
Yeah.
that's not where I feel like my skills are. It's like, why would you want to put somebody who can play a role mediocrely when you can have them play the role that's best for them, you know? And I can
Heard.
still do my part, right? Like, and I think I said this in my little temper tantrum that I posted like a couple months back. It's like
Hmm.
you can be the greatest. I don't know what's a carry mod.
Cinderace?
Lucario. You can be Cinder.
Lucario?
You can be the greatest Lucario in the world. Okay, getting all the kills and everything. Okay, but if you are there where you need to be, and you're the only one there where you need to be, and you have the opposite team, 5 men pushing an objective into your goal, what are you gonna do? Kill them all? You can probably get some kills. Like, you can be like insane, but if you're the only one there, there's only so much that you can do. There's a 1v5, right?
Hmm.
So like, and I try to tell that to people. So like,
Yep.
it's
Big time.
I know I'm a little bit like contradictory right now because I think it's just the battle I have against myself where like I always try to blame myself. But in the same breath, I do try to tell people that it is a 5-man team, and that's why I was feeling so much pressure at the time. Like I was just going insane because like I felt like I was right. I feel like I was in the right to say that it's a team game and I should play what I want to play and all this kind of stuff. And that I should be more, I guess, versatile, I guess, which is, it's good to have versatility. I agree. Um, but again, don't have the time to practice more than like 1 or 2 roles. I also play defender.
Exactly.
I'll play defender. I play a lot of Mammo. Mammo is so much fun to me. I was learning the tree a little bit, but um, I don't know. I think that's where I started to get to burnout, you know, because I was feeling the
Yeah.
pressure to I was feeling the pressure to learn things that I didn't feel like learning at um I guess a pace that I wasn't ready to take, you know? And I have this whole thing when I'm streaming, I hate when people tell me what to do. It's literally one of the only rules in my chat when people tell me what to do.
Me and you have the same thing. I
Yeah,
can't stand when people tell me what to do.
yeah.
Can you
Like,
just go to a different stream?
yeah, it's like it drives me nuts. So like, and I think it was
Hmm.
getting to that point, like, and I only experienced that when I was solo queuing, right? Because I was trying to be accountable for my mistakes, right? But I don't think the people in chat also understood that my performance on stream is like we said, like a quarter or maybe half of what I can actually do, you
Yeah.
know? And I get that I'm probably putting my team at risk, like my ranked team that I end up queuing up with because I'm streaming what I'm doing. But I mean, it's not like I'm purposefully AFKing and like doing really stupid things. Like
Right.
people make mistakes, right? It's like I'm not throwing on purpose, right?
Hmm. No, I feel you on that. I've had people, to make this quick, come in the stream when I'm solo queuing, and I'm at fault because I'm not pushing for partner. I really just like to stream. I even said this with Hearthstone. I like to stream my experience, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
like telling the story isn't unbelievable because I got the clip for you. Like, this bullshit happened. Here it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I got some good clips from solo queue actually.
Hmm.
Just like people throwing like, and that's the other thing too, is that being a streamer is that you do get stream snipers who come into your games. And then, you know what? I was annoyed with it at first for the lost elo, but I want to thank the people who sniped my stream that day and made me a clip that went viral on Twitter for a little while. I don't know if you saw
Really?
it. It was the Crustle clip. There's a
Mm.
clip of a Crustle who was first of all stealing all the farm from me, like was not letting me level up. I was playing as Jigglypuff
Oh,
at the time. You seen it, right? It
did he
went
rock wall you?
Yeah, he was rock
He
wallowing
chased
me
you.
everywhere. I had to start going to the middle farm that I never like to touch the farm in the river because I like to leave that for my jungler and attackers.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so desperate for just to level up. I was like literally level 3 at like 6 minutes, almost 5.5 minutes.
Ridiculous. I remember now. Yep.
And it was so crazy that there were some people in the comments on that tweet blaming me for, oh, well, that's what you get for stealing jungle farm. I'm like, excuse me, the river is now jungle apparently. Like it was so crazy, but like, you know
Ridiculous.
what?
I remember seeing that tweet and reading the thread, and I didn't see it till I think you might have been streaming talking about it, and I was like, stop it. Pulled it up, and I was like, this can't be real. I'm not sure if I even commented or not, but I was like, how are there people out there actually watching the clip and then they blamed you? I was like, this is insane.
It was crazy. Yeah, there was that, and then there was another one that also did well too. Again, probably stream snipers.
No
but
doubt.
you know, it was a really frustrating experience towards the end when I was solo queuing, because I found that a lot of that stuff was happening to me.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't want to turn into that streamer that complained about the game that they were playing because their experiences weren't as good. So that's why I switched. you know? So now I'm just waiting to see, like, for like with the release of Scarlet and Violet, I learned from my mistakes. All right, I decided that when I started streaming Scarlet and Violet, I'm gonna do something that's gonna take a really stupid amount of time to do while I enjoy the game off stream. So I'm currently shiny hunting a Fuecoco right now.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay, yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And like that way, I
Okay.
can actually enjoy the game on my own pace and not have it ruined by anybody, by them telling me, oh, you should go to this objective first. You should do it this way.
That's smart.
You should pick this starter, right? Because I unfortunately made that mistake when I initially streamed Arceus when it came out. There was this whole thing about like I had to like decide on my starter right then and there, and it caused this whole debacle in my chat for literally no reason. And it kind of soured my mood after. Like people were like getting so bent over what I decided to pick as my starter. And you know what? I actually ended up picking the starter to kind of shut my chat up, even though I ended up picking
horrible. Yeah.
I picked what I didn't actually want to pick. I wanted to go Typhlosion. Big fire starter
awesome.
mate. I wanted to go Typhlosion, but I ended up going Oshawott just because like so many people were getting so pressed about, you know, the opinions of others, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick Oshawott.
Oh my
so everyone
goodness.
shuts up. You know,
it's crazy how people
anything at the
crumble
time,
under this
you know?
pressure that you've already experienced and been through, like as an individual on your road to like Twitch partner. I don't even need to be in that chat to even picture what's being said. I just know the energy,
Like the stress, yeah.
the stress from
And, like-
being on the streamer side, but then also like to tell myself being the cool streamer dude who's hanging out in other streams watching the bullshit unfold. And it's like, you guys need to just relax and chill, because if everyone has a Switch and everyone has Nintendo Online and everyone has the game, like people are paying, like we're paying our way to be here, paid your way to be there. You don't need to then be on someone's ass about what character they pick, the builds, this and a third. It's like,
Yeah,
can you
I
chill the
wanted
fuck
an
out?
authentic experience, if that makes sense, and it just I couldn't get that by streaming my first my first impression to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even just the other night, I did, and it took over a week because everyone that I talked to, not daily, but every other day, 3 days, had finished the game, already had like, 5-star raids, level 100s, all this shit on Scarlet. I'm like, yo, I got 3 badges. So then I would just take a few hours before after work and stream. And without a doubt, without fail, whatever phrase I should fucking use, there's one person, and it's never the same person, comes into the stream and goes, oh, X, Y, and Z is about to happen next. Oh, did A, B, and C happen? And I'm just like, can you see where the fuck I'm at in the game? Can you wait? Can you just sit and chill like I do in other streams and just chill in the back and just relax and watch the stream? I don't understand this energy, and this is the first game.
Understand that etiquette.
Yeah, because I didn't stream Sword and Shield. I didn't even beat Arceus yet. But like, this is the first game I'm thinking, like, besides Unite, like Pokemon game, where I did the story on stream, and I'm just like, this is like, I enjoyed it, but I'm like, this is kind of like the worst experience ever, because there's always one guy who just needs the attention when he could just use his Twitch account and go stream and talk about it, and it's coming to your stream and they talk about what's about to happen next. The Elite Four, for those who may not have gotten there's some cool stuff that happens and some surprising members, and I'm just like, oh wow, this was pretty sweet, but I didn't get to experience it myself because dude in my chat said it 2 seconds before it happened.
Yeah.
Like, just sit back and
That'll
chill.
do it.
I think you'd like my reaction more than you telling me, and then my reaction of being like, damn, thanks, dude, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, cause
It really
and
is.
that's what drives me insane too, is that like let me experience it first instead of, you know, ruining it for me. That's why I decided this time around, I'm gonna just do the intro on the first day that the game came out, and then as soon as I'm done that stream, I went over to my other file and then I played that whole weekend and got at least a good chunk of the game done, so that when I came back on Monday, I already knew kind of what was going to happen because I got to experience the rest of the game without, you know, having those kind of people come in and say those things to ruin the game.
Yeah, no, that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
I think if and when they do a DLC, that's what I'll do. I'm not worried about like risking content or views or whatever. Like it's all good. Like I'll get a different perspective like you have, because honestly that probably would have saved some of my mood this past week because it's so annoying. It's like you guys take the fun out of it. Like just let me stream.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Just I don't want to mute words or people. But
that's the trick though. You got to do you got to have your separate files, like your private files, to just kind of disconnect as a streamer and just do like your own personal things too, because that's something that I feel like I didn't learn until much later. That
I'm
you
learning
need to
right
do
now
stuff
today.
like that.
I didn't honestly never dawned on me. I'm just like, do I need to
you
do
can
this now?
actually see it behind me. I'm pointing the wrong way, but my Switch is there charging. Because
yeah,
that's where
your Switch is
I
charging.
play.
Yeah.
Where I play, I have a little Switch Lite where I do all of my personal gaming completely, like unrelated to all of the other.
Yeah, you can't stream on that.
On stream.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, so that's a way to not like, even if I'm tempted to show anybody like what's going on there, like I'm not Nursie on those files. Like I'm me in those files, and I'm just kind of doing my thing without anybody like having an issue with what I'm doing because they don't know what's going on. I can enjoy it and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Hey, I know we talk badges and all that certification stuff, but it's cool to hear this from your perspective. Let's say with the amount of experience you have and the time you put in, like you just recognize like I need to have this for myself, and then I'm a different personality when I'm on stream. That's a great way to think about that. I never thought about that because it really is annoying. I'm trying to do the organic raw stuff, and it's just like I'm kind of souring my experience with these randoms out here who I don't know, who just come in and want the attention of the 20 people in chat when you could have your own stream and have 20 people. Like it's not hard to get 20 people. Like come on, I don't know.
It's like, you know, not to say that like me off stream is different from me on stream. Like I'm the same regardless, but I do like to separate, you know, the Nursie part from like everything else in my life. Like I don't need to share every single little thing that's going on with me like to the community, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll message my friends and be like, hey, right now I'm messaging you not as Nursie, okay? I need to tell you something, you know what I mean? Like I know that when I got engaged, I messaged Curly and I said, okay, this is not Nursie talking right now, okay? This is like me, right? And she's like, oh my god, is everything okay? And then I told her, and like she's all happy and everything, and like, you know, I think it's a really
that's awesome
to disconnect, like especially with those people that you're more personal with, to have that kind of connection, so that people are reminded that like you're not like just a streamer, like there is a whole life and a whole story going on, like behind that, like, you know, stream schedule that you have.
That's a great lesson. Like this, honestly, this would be a great episode for people to hear, and like I think this will help a lot of people out who are in my sphere circle space, because I think there's too much of not being aware of how people should be versus like what people think should be going on. And this will definitely help out a lot, honestly.
I think really honestly, people experience a lot. This is like the nurse in me like coming out now too, though. I think a lot of people experience a lot of like depression and all this kind of stuff because we have so much access to other people's lives now with social media. And the thing is, the problem with that is that people most of the time only choose to post about the good things that are going on around them. So when you have that tendency to compare yourself to other people, like, oh, well, all of these amazing things are going on to this person, like their life looks so perfect and stuff. And that like unconsciously, like it creates subconsciously, that's what I meant. It creates it creates a sort of like, sadness that of like longing for things that you don't have, and like you get so fixated on the things you don't have and you forget to appreciate the stuff that's going on, um like around, like the stuff that you actually do have, you know what I mean?
Oh,
um
I definitely do. My
I hope you
microphone's
do
gone.
get that fixed.
Hopefully. But I feel you on that.
Yeah.
People do that a lot. That's such a good viewpoint.
Yeah.
So yeah, you talked about not playing Unite. I like to build up to this because I asked the question at the start with the intention of building up, but it seems like you picked up on it and you took it beautifully. Going through the team, how you guys play as 5, and then duos with Taco. Taco had to go back to work, so now you're trying to figure out that next space. So, do you see yourself maybe in the new year trying to drum up some more Unite players maybe from your community? Is it a thing where you're just gonna look for when like your original 4 or 5 are free to play? Because for me myself, I've taken time, and I'm not on the platform you are, so I'm not getting the kind of attention and messages. But because I believe you are on that platform, people are just gonna harass because they want to be there and they're not you. Like when you take time off, I've taken 3 stints of time off of Unite, and honestly, it feels great. Like it's a great refresh. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking like 6 weeks at a time. You know what I'm saying? No
Yeah,
Twitter,
yeah.
no playing the game, no logging in. And not to make you give an answer, but do you see some kind of event happening where it's like you want to get back into it? Because I know Scarlet and Violet is awesome, so there's no like backing off of that. It really is fun. Like there's so much to do. I haven't even gotten that far yet. I beat the game, quote unquote, but I found out there's like 20 more things to do. So
Yeah,
really
there's
beat
a
it,
lot
not
of
really.
things to do in that game for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think what I'm starting to learn is that I like to try so many new things. Like right now, as I'm sure you've seen, my thing right now is shiny hunting. And like
Mm-hmm.
I think when you do too much of the same thing, you do experience burnout no matter what it is. So I'm sure that somewhere along the lines, I'm gonna get kind of tired of shiny hunting, and I'm gonna want to do something else. I can't promise anybody that I'm gonna like go back to my old routine, or like if I'm gonna try something new. That's why I've just decided as of like a few weeks ago to like stop calling myself a Pokemon Unite streamer, because I clearly do have interest in other Pokemon related content. Like Ping Guy said, the pack openings. I have so much fun opening. I still have some here. I
Let's
open
see.
some of these every day
Packs on the
on
podcast. Look at that.
stream, you know?
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
I'll open a pack for the podcast to end
Oh,
it later on. We
yo,
got
open
it.
one?
Right
No
now?
way. No. Wait,
Well,
really?
later.
Okay, okay,
We'll do it
yeah.
at the end of the podcast, okay?
That's awesome.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. There are things that I want to do with Unite, but I think it's going to be a more casual, less sweaty approach going forward. I don't think I'm going to be doing, the sweaty 5-stat grinds anymore. I think I'm more interested in, you know, playing with the community, I guess. I found that I had a lot of people asking to join. Oh, when are you viewing? And like I feel bad because I feel like I was lying to them, because I really wasn't. Like I did have intentions of doing viewer games and all this kind of stuff. And I said, "Oh, I'll do them on my days off." But then when the day off came, I wanted to play more ranked, right? So that never
Yeah.
came around, and I feel like I was just saying it just to say it, and I promise I didn't mean to say it just to say it. But I mean, I think what I want to do as an idea, I know that the season is restarting now, so probably the following season is I want to do like a ranked climb to masters, but with the community, kind of like a mini Shep vibe kind of thing, where he just gets anybody in chat to hop in. We'll
Yeah.
5-stack, and then we'll go and we'll see how far I can get to masters. I'm at a point where I don't care about my elo anymore. It is just a
Oh,
number,
I've been there for 4
right?
months.
Yeah, it's so much healthier.
I don't
for
care.
us, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
The
And
elo? Yeah.
as long as nobody's like throwing games or anything and like actually trying to win, but have fun and like respect each other and all that kind of stuff, I would see it being a good time. Because I really don't care about like that whole, win rate and all that kind of stuff, as much as other people care about it, right? And like that's the other thing, is that if you're gonna choose to play with a streamer, you better expect to not win every time. Like it's,
Mm-hmm.
don't get mad at the streamer.
Yep.
You chose
Many
to get to,
factors. Many
you know.
factors because you're playing with the streamer. So let's take it on our side first. We're talking about a quarter of attention because we're trying to play, and then there's
Mhm.
chat. Not just chat. You're trying to read what the
Mhm.
chat is, process
Yeah.
it, reply. Oh wait, someone's in the bush. And then on the other side, people like you don't have you smartly. You don't have TTV in your name, but when they see it,
Mhm.
a streamer that they know about or said TTV, now you got the opponents playing. With their chair locked in. What's that mean when you sit up? They're playing extra
You
hard.
want to know
You
what's
know what I'm
funny
saying?
about
Like,
that actually?
yeah. So it's a
With the
lot.
whole TTV in the name, is
Mm-hmm.
that I never put TTV in my name, and I
Yeah.
have everybody telling me, your name looks like a streamer's name though, and they search me up anyway, and they find me, and they
Really?
join. I don't know why. Like I don't know.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
so crazy, and then they like to say, oh, it's because everyone knows yours. Like, I'd like to disagree because I am kind of still new to the Unite community. So like it was happening right away too. It's like I just started playing Unite, and people are coming to my stream and like saying GGs to me. It's like, how do you know?
No, I believe it because you said you started season 4. So I started when this game first came out. Like they called it the Switch season before mobile was in September 2021. But like that second and third season was kind of mid. But like
Hmm.
for me, ever since season 4, like the game kind of was better than the first 3. So I really believe like that's when you're saying that's when you started. People just came to see your stream. Um, I know there are like a handful of players out there that like everyone just knows and talks about, and you are one of them. So it's easy to think like people are just searching it, and it's not like a kiss your ass thing. It's just a matter of
Hmm.
fact thing. Like there's no corner of Unite streams that I go to where you, Curly, Spraggles, Chris Heroes, people like
Hmm.
that are just like not quote unquote Unite household names. If you get where I'm coming
Yeah.
from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I could believe that. And like a lot of players I've learned use Twitter, so that could be a thing too, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes, I think Twitter has a lot to do with like the growth in the Unite channel, or I guess the Unite content, I should say.
mhm.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like at the time when I first started playing Unite, I was like, I don't know how these people know that they're coming in here, because that was when I had literally first started playing. Like I had no idea what I'm doing,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, and I don't know, they just kind of figured it out. And I think because I do collab with like bigger names like Curly a lot, that it kind of she also really helped my growth in that department too. She introduced me to a lot of people as well. Um, so I think that kind of helped get my name around. Like we were five stacking together, we were doing truing, all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's where people may have seen my name. But like to
Okay.
not have TTV in my name and people still coming in being like, "Hey, GG," I was like, "How did you know?"
Yeah, how'd
Because
you
like
find
that's
out?
specifically why I don't put TTV in my name. I avoid doing that because like at least from my Rocket League experiences, like that's the worst thing to do is have, like be a female streamer with TTV in the name. They're gonna come at you and say something mean. So I knew that I was not gonna do that for Unite either. I'm gonna have my nice clean Nursie tag because I made it when the game first came out,
Yeah.
and then I never played the game again. I'm like, I'm not gonna change my tag in the event that someone else is gonna take it. Not worth it.
I thought I was really innocent and dumb. I didn't realize all the blowback it would have. So I had TTV and
Mhm.
the intention of, good game
Growing.
or bad game,
Yeah.
people will come in, get views, will grow, blah, blah, blah. And what ended up happening in the end was not just the Twitch chat messages, but
Mhm.
like Twitter DMs.
Oh yeah.
And then at one point in time, I did have my email and my Twitter, blah, blah, blah. So then emails. And then,
Emails.
yeah, to my Gmail. Seriously.
That's
And then
crazy.
it's insane. And what I really didn't expect was Twitch DMs.
Yeah.
Like people send the nastiest messages through Twitch and then block me so that can't really reply back.
Yeah.
And who's to say
Favorite is
if my
when
reply be positive or negative, but I can't reply back because
yeah.
you blocked me.
Yeah, my favorite is when they take a screenshot of like let's say I run into somebody in solo queue 3 times, right? And I beat them the first 2 times, and then the third time they win. and they only take a screenshot of the game that they beat me and saying, "Oh, GG's, Nursie." It's like, okay, what about the other 2 games? Were those not GG's?
Mm-hmm.
Those are like,
yeah. And let's have some fun with this. So I won't name names, but they are streamers in my space size, channel size, and they'll act, big, braggish, beat their chest, whatever, talk their talk. Everyone should. You should be confident in yourself. But like, when I do beat said person or people, and then, I'm setting it up wrong. One time I lost to said person, comes to my channel, talks to talk, whatever. But then every single time after, when I do queue into person, because the game just never puts us on the same team. I think the game knows. And I beat said person. And ever since then, I did it at first in a joking way. Like, go to the channel, oh, GG's back, whatever, because, you did the first time you beat me. And it's just dead silence. And I'm talking about, if there's 3 lines of chat, they're reading this line, and then the person below me, they will just not read anything that I say. And I'm just like, I was like, ain't no way. You came to my channel, like you said, talking all that shit. And I came here saying, GG's. Because my idea, honestly, is like to build some kind of collaboration, networking. Like, I try to take, like we talk about in Discord, people just like have these negative energies. I'm trying to take that, flip it into some kind of content, collaborate, and just have fun with it, because it's a freaking Pokemon game. But it's just crazy how people won't acknowledge that you beat them, but the second they get one on you, like you said, you get 2 on them, 1 on them, they just say something. Love to see sore losers. So before we get to that pack opening and the question I want to ask before we close the show, let's do a highlight, because you can talk on it. I don't think I have anyone else on the show that's been there. The event that I believe Curly Q put on, Ladies Night. If it's not just one, there's multiple. Could you go into how that got developed and how it went for you, your experience in it?
Oh, in Curly, that was all Curly. Yeah, that was all Curly, and she's a very big advocate for women in gaming, and I really, really respect her and her using her platform for something like that, because it's needed, right? And I wish I had more time in my schedule to really do more things, like with such class and grace, the way she does it, like, to get everything. Like, she set up a whole Discord, she's got this whole community that's like a safe space for women to play Unite, without having to experience any sort of
toxicity,
I guess, toxicity, discrimination, all that kind of stuff, because we do experience it a lot in the gaming space. So and she's always reaching out, asking like to keep me involved and stuff like that, and I really, like, I don't know what I would have done without her, in terms of like she introduced me to so many amazing women in gaming, especially in Unite. And like, it was a really good, like, I'm really thankful for like her including me in that first event, because then afterwards, like, I'm glad that it wasn't a one-time thing, like she keeps doing it. And I hope to do something with her in the future in with regards to that, like something fun, a safe space for the women to game in.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I saw something similar when I was in the Hearthstone community. So to see her, there could be others, but to see her be the first one to do something like that, I was like, this is cool, because her being that person in this community will kind of like put a foot up someone's ass, where it's like, yo, men don't just run the scene everywhere. Yeah. This is a situation where she's creating, where like, now you got these, I call them little shitters, but you got these little shitters who are just like, oh, crying, like, oh, we can't get in the event, this isn't fair. But it's like, do you guys realize you're kind of the reason this is happening, because you guys act and behave a certain way and you talk a certain way? So you pushed her. Crazy.
You feel left out? That's insane. Could not have ever experienced that in my life.
You feel left out, could never experience that, right? It's just, it's sickening for me to read, like, to not make it a big thing or drawn out, but it is a situation where it's like people of color in gaming, women in gaming. It's just like we're on the outside of the mainstream gamers, to put it properly. So it's like, to read them say to you guys like, oh, this isn't fair, you ever on a tournament we can't get in. It's like, look at all the other tournaments you guys get to do. What if this, like, the day before this event was announced, you guys were all about what you're doing, so just like stay over there and do that, and like let people like this run their tournaments and their events and have fun with it. So
Yeah.
I thought it was very cool to see, because of course her taking that stance, she's gonna get blowback, but they can kiss her ass and kiss all her ass because it's so stupid. It's dumb.
Those are the people you need to learn how to just let them stay mad. Because no matter what, like the bigger and bigger you get as a creator, the more people will see you, and among those people will always be people who are either jealous or don't agree with you or don't like you. Not everyone's gonna like you, right? And
Not everyone's
it's
gonna like you.
better
Yep.
to
Yeah.
it's better to not put your energy into those people, because like again, I learned that mistake in, when I was streaming Rocket League. I put so much of my energy into paying attention to all of the negative attention I was getting, instead of really being thankful for the positive things around me as a Rocket League creator. And I think that's what kind of destroyed my experience in the Rocket League community, because I was only focusing on the negative stuff, right? And that was, I feel like that's what gets them to win, right? That's like, at that point they've won because they got to your head, they made you react. That's what they wanted. They wanted your downfall, right?
Yeah, that's their goal. Yep.
You need to not let that happen. So like that's why I'm trying to be so mindful of the way I react to, when people, and what's funny, the craziest thing to me is that ever since I switched to Pokemon, I have not had to ban a single person in my Twitch chat. Whereas back then, when I was streaming Rocket League, I was banning 2 to 3 people per stream for coming in and saying, not a single, like, I'm a pretty easygoing streamer,
Yeah.
I give people warnings like, hey, don't do that, like, we're trying to just chill here, kind of thing. But like my Rocket League chat got kind of out of hand sometimes, right? And like it was like a 2 or 3 person kind of ban every day.
2 or 3 person kind of ban? Damn.
Yeah.
I watch Twitch a lot. I believe it. There's some wild motherfuckers out there.
I used to do unban request streams where I
would used to do unban requests?
My inbox would have like 50 unban requests of people just straight up insulting me. And then their responses were just so funny. I'm like, I needed to make content out of this. And to be honest, I kind of wish that I had more of those unbanned requests to do that kind of content, but it's been a whole year of me doing Pokemon content, and I have not had a single, I think I've had maybe one, and it was during a charity stream.
Of course,
like
yeah.
mental, and so like, and somebody thought that I was glorifying the nursing profession, and I'm not actually a nurse. I did a Nurse Joy cosplay, and they basically came at me saying that I was pretending to be a nurse for people to, feel bad for me. Like, oh, geez, look how good, like, you know what I mean? Like they were basically, and that kind of got under my skin.
Well, it is Twitch and entertainment, so even if you were, yeah.
Like, and that kind of got under my skin. I think that was the only ban since I switched to Pokemon content that ever happened. And that was a just chatting stream. It wasn't like a Pokemon stream.
Yeah.
Right? That was the only just chatting stream I ever did, and I was never again going to do it. Like it was crazy.
That's a crazy difference. You went from like 2 to 3 bans per stream in Rocket League, and then Pokemon, you said you had one in a year.
And it was all the like prepubescent teenagers that were mad that they were stuck in like platinum rank, and I was playing better than them. Like that's literally what it was, right? They were mad, so they had to go take their anger out on their mom's iPad and go like yell at a Twitch streamer,
Take their anger on their mom's iPad. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Honestly, that's what I picture sometimes. The kind of BS I be reading, whether it's my stream or somewhere else's, I'm just like, who has the time to even say this? Or I don't know. Yeah. You seem more and way worse than me, so
it's not worth your energy, and lately
it definitely is worth your energy.
I've been really valuing my energy, putting it more of a priority in my life. I used to not do that as much. I'm very much a people pleaser, and do like I'll bend over backwards to try and make sure that my friends are okay, to a point where like I will not I will not feel well myself because I took too much time taking care of my friends. I forgot to take care of myself. So lately, I disconnect a lot on Discord. I treat Discord now like a business app, if I'm being honest. Like that is where I'm Nursie.
Oh, yeah.
I no longer use Discord to talk to people as like the IRL me. If there's somebody that wants to talk to me like IRL, they have my phone number. If you don't have my phone number,
Bet.
I don't want it, like, you know what I mean? Otherwise, online, I'm just Nursie, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, and that's what it is. And I've just made a conscious effort to like not give that phone number out as much anymore, because like I found myself really wearing thin with all. Don't get me wrong, I love all the connections I've made.
I'm not getting you wrong. Yeah.
You know, I love all the connections I've made, and I am down to chat with people, but I need to remember that I need to disconnect from that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of like, because I remember when I first started streaming, I had a really hard time balancing, you know, that streamer lifestyle, like meeting so many new people, having so many different conversations, and like meeting people, and then like I was kind of neglecting like my IRL relationships. And like I feel like to this day I still feel really awful about it. Like it was a huge adjustment for Vin too. On top of that, like I went from like having nobody to talk to all the time to having all these people to talk to, you know? And like you need to remember that.
Yeah,
And
especially with him passing off the streamer. Yeah.
Bless his heart for being so patient with me, because like also you got to think about, like, imagine having like your girlfriend just suddenly like blowing up on Twitch and like getting all of these things that, because he's like a very don't ever like hurt my girlfriend's feelings, like I'll like fight you kind of guy.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You know, so anytime I was upset about something, like he always was ready to scrap. You know, and
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
no, it's okay.
Someone's talking shit to you on Discord, I got him. He was ready.
Yeah, so it was definitely an adjustment, but like I finally found that happy medium only recently too. Like I've been streaming for two and a half years, I would say, and only recently have I finally found that kind of balance. And what I needed to do was learn how to just disconnect from the socials, put my phone down, and just like do something else, you know, not like stay on Discord all day and on Twitter all day, all that kind of stuff.
I agree with that. Maybe it's like, in what's it called? Zeitgeist? Because I've kind of been thinking about that. I was like, I need to figure out this management, but also the disconnect. If I'm not actually looking to push the partner, if I'm looking to have a full-time job, a real life, and then this is a space I come to create podcasts or streams for like I said before, this shared experience, not me coming here grinding, looking for views, that I need to learn like at some point to not like be here all the time. And not to say like I'm unaccessible or higher than, but it's just like, what's my goal being on in 27 Discords, going through each Discord daily in the general. Like I need to like have a spot I'm at, and then everywhere else just kind of get there when I get there. So,
honestly,
I feel you on that.
That's the same way. Like, and I feel like a lot of people misinterpreted that change in me as me like, oh, she got partner, so she's not messaging us in Discords anymore. And as much as I feel like I've given that impression to a lot of people, my actual friends will realize that like I just decided that I need to put me first, and I need to, you know, I'm not trying to like personally gain anything out of like, I'm not like, you know, I've never used a self-promo channel in my entire life. I've never like gone through any sort of socials and plugged my stream anywhere.
Really?
Right? Not a single one. Just 1 second.
Oh, no problem. Hey guys, thank you for checking out the podcast. Got one more segment coming up. We're going to talk about upcoming characters that Nursie might want to see on the show. See on the game. There might be some good ones. I'm excited to see what her picks will be.
All right. Sorry about that. My dinner is almost arriving.
Hey, same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, before we get to that cool card pack opening, I like to ask all the guests. Yeah, definitely grand finale, because I know these are for your stream, so I feel cool you're gonna do it here.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. So I like to ask all the guests when they come on the show, just to see who's gonna get their character first. What are 3 characters from the Pokemon universe that you would like to see come to Unite?
Oh wow, that's a. Okay, well, there's one I'm always saying on stream all the time, and I want to see Ampharos as an all-rounder in Unite. I need to see it.
Okay, I like that one. I like that one. Yeah.
I am a big Ampharos fan, and I would really, really love to see Ampharos in Unite. And if I could make that my answer for all 3 Pokemon that I want to see, that would be it. You know.
So Mareep, Flaffy, Ampharos. Got it.
Yeah.
That
Those
does
are
count
my
as 3.
Yeah.
Sneaky. That does count as 3. Okay.
Yeah. No, I've been saying it since I started playing Unite. Like, if Ampharos came to Unite, I think I would be super, super happy. You know? Another one I know is probably not going to be as popular, but I'm a big Frostlass fan as of late. You know? Like, can you imagine?
Was that a tweet? Or were you playing?
Last night I got a shiny Frostlass. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine having, you know, you start off as a Snorunt and you can actually choose to evolve. It's just like this, the whole Scyther experience. You can choose to evolve into either a Glalie or a Frostlass. Like, that's...
I forgot it had a split lane. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes either... See, sorry for the, you know, the Pokemon professors.
No, you're good.
Who are going to download this episode on Apple, you know, Spotify, all that, YouTube, watch it, and be like, hey, man, you should know, but I forgot. That's true. Okay, so we got Frostlass and Ampharos. I like those.
Yes.
Those are some cool picks. All right. I'm going to have that saved. I have a Google spreadsheet. I typed everybody's out, so this would be pretty cool if one of those 2 come in. Hell yeah. All right, so like you said,
for
the grand finale.
The grand finale. All right. And thank you for having me. This was awesome. Super fun.
No doubt. No, when we talked to Discord last night, I was like, yeah, this can be a cool vibe because cool conversation, event session, just like totally different from what we did in the past because I know how the game has played out and how the community kind of does a lot of arguing in the second and third. So I was like, let's make this show very different. So I appreciate you going through the arc of how you got to be a Twitch partner and the different game you played and different Pokemon games and it's
kind
very
of trailed
cool.
off, like my storytelling was kind of like this, but you know,
no, definitely not.
I got to the point.
We definitely I liked it because it wasn't trailing off. I was actually gonna ask questions that would like lead to that trail. So you actually took it on your own without even realizing. So I appreciate it. It was just chilling. I was just like, cool.
We're chilling. It was fun. Thank you for having me. Here is
thank you very much.
The grand finale. I don't know if you know this, but the code card that it comes with is kind of like an indicator if there's going to be a rare.
Hey, Glalie.
Unfortunately, there's a Glalie. Unfortunately, this code card has a white border. So what that means is that it's not going to have it's likely not going to have a holo. If it looks like this with the black border.
Oh, okay.
That means that you are guaranteed a holo card. But that doesn't mean we won't get something cool. Yeah. But I'm not feeling too good about this pack if I'm being quite honest with you. But here it is.
Something crazy.
I do have a pile of cards to put away. Okay, so here is the reverse holo. It's always the second last one. It's a Murkrow.
It's a Murkrow. Okay.
That would actually be a good addition to Unite as well. Maybe like a
Honchkrow,
you know?
Yeah.
And the rare is okay.
Oh, a Talonflame. That's a Unite Pokemon. Look at that.
It is.
That's a Unite Pokemon.
I feel like I'm gathering all of the Unite Pokemon in this booster box because there's a lot. There's a Regieleki. There's a Alolan Vulpix. There's a lot of Unite Pokemon in this pack for sure.
Love to see that. Hey, that Talonflame being the last card, that's perfect. I love seeing that.
You're good? You go with that?
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. I think you actually playing that. So I didn't see you open the pack. I think you actually playing that. That's cool though. I like that. Hey, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for
having me. It was fun.
And thank you for replying back. To let everybody know, there's some people who just don't reply back, but Nursie being, like she said, full-time worker, Twitch partner, she took her time to reply back.
I will respond to you eventually within 24 hours. You know what I do sometimes is I'll open the message, but I'll open it at work. Like I wear an Apple Watch, so sometimes it opens my messages for me.
Oh,
and I'll look at it, I'll be like, huh, right? And then I will totally forget that I opened the message and the notification will be gone. And then like 2 days later, I'll be like, I never heard back from that person. I was like, wait, I never answered. And then like, I promise I'm not egoing anybody. I'll get there.
Yeah, it's definitely not an ego trip. Yeah, I get that. Opening at work, and sometimes the watch does it. Yeah, totally get that. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
It happens. It happens.
So I want to ask, for those who may have just, heard of you for the first time today, listening to this show, can you let people at home know where they can find you and your content online?
Twitch.tv/Nursie. I wish I had that nice clean handle for Twitter, but on Twitter it's Nursie, unfortunately. But Yes, most of my handles are either it's Nursie or Nursie. Um, TikTok is Nursie. I think I do have a social tree. I probably could drop that in for you guys. You
Oh,
know,
link
link
tree,
tree.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
link
Yeah,
tree.
I'll grab that and I'll make sure it's in the show notes. Most definitely. Yeah.
I got you. I will drop it in the chat. Am I allowed to drop
Hold on.
links in
Yeah,
the
actually,
chat?
wait, give me 1 second. Hold on, hold
I'm
on.
gonna get banned.
No, don't, no. Let's see.
I do have a few variations of my username, unfortunately. Oh, there we
What
go.
the heck?
Temporary moderator. Love that for
There
me.
we
There you
go.
go.
Temporary for life.
Thank
No
you
problem.
very much.
I got you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh!
This was fun.
Yes, and in the last 10 seconds to let you go, big shout out, thank you, because I didn't even say this, we just kind of vibed and I spaced out. Thank you for rating me on July 4th, my birthday over the summer. That was so cool.
I got you.
That was really cool.
It will not be the only one. I did try to spread the love to my friends.
Yeah, I do appreciate it, because you did say that, you know, you like going to the smaller channels where you can get that conversation.
Yes.
And we were all doing that, definitely, so it was a cool time. I really appreciate it.
Yes, of course. I was a good birthday.
Yeah, it was a great birthday, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Night.
This was fun. You have a good night.
Yeah, shout out to Canada.
Bye, chat. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. All right,
See you later.
bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good night.